In this episode, you will learn how you can pursue your passion, whatever be it, no matter how circumstances in your life change. Hi, this is Vasudevan, author of Follow Your Heart, Your Brain is Stupid. This channel is dedicated to those who wish to take charge of their life and to create for themselves a life of freedom, joy, and happiness. This episode of the Heart to Heart Chat Show features an intimate conversation with Geethika, wildlife photographer, who continues pursuing her passion despite dramatic changes in her life. Let's jump right into the interview. Hi, Geethika. Welcome to this episode of my chat show. Thanks a lot for taking time off and accepting my invitation. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure also.
Viewers, today we have a very special guest. Her name is Geethika Singh from Kenya, Africa. Geethika is a wildlife and humanitarian photographer. I do not know what humanitarian means. I'm going to ask her later on. She is very passionate about wildlife conservation and as well as photography. In this episode today, you're going to learn how she adapted to the changing situations in her life without giving up her passion. And that's a wonderful attribute of hers. Many of us have passion from our heart. We want to do something, but the situation seemingly is not conducive to it, right? And most often than not, we give up on that. You're going to learn from Geethika how not to give up on your passions. If you are one of those, watch this video till the very end. You're going to really love it. So Geethika, it's all yours. We're all eagerly looking forward to hearing from you about your journey. Over to you.
So first of all, I want to thanks to give me this opportunity to share my experiences. So I'll start with I'm born and brought up in India, and I was 10 years ago. I was working as an educator in India in an international school. But there was some situation which we have to shift to Myanmar, and then that was a turning point for my things, and then the challenges begins for me. So after reaching Myanmar, I had to quit my job, which I was doing from last 6-7 years, and I had established my things in the position of educator. So I quit my job, I resigned my job, and we shifted to Myanmar with my family. So there, because I was going with my husband, so I was not allowed to work there because of country's norm and everything. So all of a sudden I was sitting at home 24/7, where in India I was working continuously for 5-6 years. So I felt how to restart my things again in a new country, because the first thing I faced there was the language. People were not understanding English, people were not understanding Hindi, they were only knowing their Burmese language. So where to start from? So I had this passion for photography. It was a hidden passion. So one day I picked up my camera, I went out, and I just started clicking what the local people were doing there. Since I am a student of history, I did my graduation and post-graduation in history. So I had this fascination of knowing new culture and about new people, about the history. So I just started exploring the streets of Myanmar, and I used to click their picture, and I just started writing about their culture. And that was a turning point, and I just felt in love with editorial photography. Since I was a student of history in my childhood, so and I was fascinated about roaming the countries and knowing about their culture. So through my camera, I started clicking the pictures of people and their culture there, and I started posting it on social media. From there, the people started liking it, and then it gives me motivation to make the world aware of this country, which were very enclosed. So here the photography journey started. And then after that, I connected with some of Myanmar photographers, and there was a very renowned photographer from Myanmar, and under his mentorship, I started learning photography.
And thereafter, what happened? When did you move to Africa and all that?
Yeah, so as soon as I started taking interest in photography, I started taking interest in commercial photography. So when I was building up my career as a commercial photographer in Myanmar, so we had to take a call, and then we have to shift to Thailand because of my husband work. He got transferred to Bangkok. Again, the challenge for a new country came in front of me, because as soon as I started beginning my career as a photographer there, sudden off I got to know that I have to shift to Thailand. Okay, so we shifted to Thailand. There again, I have to start with scratch, because there also they have some language problem. And most of all, if you're building up your own things, first of all, you have to build up your network. So in every country, when you're moving, you don't know anyone there. So you take 6 months to make up that network. So I started again with scratch. I made some groups there. I connected with some photographers there. I made some group, and I started involving myself into commercial photography. So as soon as I was getting engaged in photography again, we got to know that we are shifting to Africa. And then the biggest challenge of my life started from there. In Africa, you can't do freely the street photography, which was my forte, or the commercial photography. So there was a challenge, like, now what to do? Even the culture is changed, everything is changed, and again from the scratch I have to start there. So from one country to another country and to the third country, my career was not getting and I was not settling at all at one country. As soon as I start, I used to make some networks, or I used to build up connections, or I used to set up my things. I was given this challenge to shift my country or to change the country. So Africa, when I was moving to Africa, I got to know that it's very famous for wildlife. So I bought the telephoto lens, and then one fine evening, I decided to make a trip to Masai Mara National Reserve. So as soon as we entered Masai Mara National Reserve, and when we were doing my first safari, I fall in love with animals, wildlife there. And then from there, the journey as a wildlife photographer started, which is still continuing.
Wow, that's one heck of a journey, I must say.
Yes.
Yeah. And the best part is that you had a passion for photography, and you didn't let go of that. And that's the best part of it. Many people, when we are in our journey, when we look at situations have changed, we give up on it, and that's the end of it, right? So hats off to you that you continued with that passion. When it came to Africa, then when you were taking the decision to get into wildlife photography, what was going on in your mind? Because I'm sure you were not exposed to wildlife before moving to Africa at all. So what was going on in your mind? Were you not scared? Did people not tell you, Geethika, what the hell are you up to? I mean, it's dangerous, etc. I'm sure these sort of things would have happened, right? I mean, if you can share that with us.
Till reaching Africa, I have explored every zone of photography. Whether if you take it fashion photography, whether you take it street, whether you take it editorial photography, I have gone through all kinds of photography. But when it comes to wildlife, it is very challenging. I think the wildlife photography is the most challenging photography you have, because the subject, you have to work according to the subject. You are not commanding the subject. So that was the thing which gave me a lot of challenges, and which made me to enhance my skills under photography. And second, I am a very nature lover person from childhood. I am very close to nature. I am born and brought up in mountains, so I was very close to nature. So this was the biggest opportunity to know about their behavior, and to know about the species. So this was the reason which I was so much into wildlife photography. And when I used to go to Masai Mara, the vibes and how you connect with the nature, that is very important. And it's like addiction you get, because everyone nowadays wants to be close to the nature. Yeah, it is very challenging. You have to take care of everything, because you can't predict animal behavior. But my thing is like, when you have a passion, nothing can stop you.
That is so very true. How strong is your passion will determine whether you will be able to continue with that despite all the challenges versus giving up on your passion.
Exactly. And yeah, and I'm a solo traveler, so the challenge was like, and my kid was studying in a higher grades there, so I can't disturb my family and pursue my passion. So as a women photographer, or as a women, carrying your passion, it becomes a bit more challenging. And but I found a very like-minded people there. The people are very warm-hearted, so they all supported me in pursuing my passion, and we build up a very strong bond with each other. So now, if I say, like, Masai Mara is my second home now.
Are you still in Africa, or I thought you had moved to Dubai or something?
Yes. Now the fourth challenge started. Like, when
Okay.
I spent, I spent 5 years in Kenya, and I was thoroughly dedicated to wildlife photography, and I started the conservation programs also. I started indulging myself into conservation also. So when I decided, okay, this is the wildlife photography and conservation, which is the goal and the purpose of my life. So again, the challenge started, and somehow we have to shift to Dubai. So last year I shifted to Dubai, and that was like another big challenge for me, because in Dubai and in UAE you don't have any kind of wildlife like they have, but not what we are doing. So again the challenge started, because you can't go again and again to Masai Mara from Dubai if you're settling there. So again, what I did, I have kept wildlife as my passion, like it's like my passion. But to invest my time to pursue my passion, I have started learning new things in photography. And again, I am learning fashion photography, I am learning product photography, and I'm learning other zones of photography, so that I can have my career there, as well as I can pursue my passion also.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, but the biggest challenge always comes, like shifting from one country to another country, is network. So you are not even aware of any person there, and how to build up the network is very challenging. So I think I will suggest, like, 6 months you have to just keep calm down yourself, and just keep finding the network, your niche where you are interested, and just don't lose your heart. And every country is the biggest opportunity you can get. You will never know from where you get the new things, from where you learn the new things, and you can pursue your passion also.
Right. So Geethika, one question to you is, I'm sure along your life journey you would have faced some situations where you had to take some decision, not necessarily this is of course a big decision, but some other decisions when you were wanting to take. What was typically the challenges that you were facing, and how did you overcome that? Because what I have seen, and that's what I have covered in my courses as well as in my book, titled is very, I do not know whether you'll agree with it. It's follow your heart, your brain is stupid. So what happens is, whenever we want to make some decisions, we get scared to take that decision, because we normally think with our brain. We don't follow the heart. This results in our inability to go ahead with the decision. Why? Because the brain is always trying to protect you, to take care of you. It's your survival mechanism. Whereas your heart knows exactly what you want, and what you want to become, where you want to go, what you want to achieve. Unfortunately, most of us, in fact, I too, until some years ago, was always that, that logical bent of mind. And typically most engineers, with no offense meant to engineers, but we are the logical minded people. Our education drives us in that direction, and therefore what happens is we normally use logic to make any decisions, and that's what the brain also does. Brain only uses logic to make those decisions, and that decision which is going to make is based on past experience, right? It doesn't know the what's going to happen in the future, whereas the heart knows the future. And something which I realized is that we think the brain is the most powerful organ or of our body, right? Actually it is the heart. The
Exactly.
heart is the most powerful, like, organ of our body, because when we are as a baby in our mother's womb, it's the heart which is formed first and not the brain, and it's the heart which tells the brain what to do. This I did not even know until about 7-8 years ago. I wasn't even aware. Most of us, we focus on what the brain is saying, and the brain will always stop you from doing what you want. If you had listened to your brain, you wouldn't have adapted to so many different types of photography. You may have resisted moving to Africa or Burma or Thailand, right? You would have resisted a lot, and you would have told your husband, you go, you take your thing, let me be here, let me take care of my family, my children, right? This happens. You are one of those few lucky people who always followed your heart, your passion. The passion comes from the heart, not from the brain. And that's how you were able to pursue your passion and not let go of it. And that's the real power. And this is something which most of us don't realize.
Exactly.
And we give up on what we want to do, and life continues, and we'll start justifying things, right? I want to know from you, and I think most of our viewers would like to know, how does it feel when you are in the wild? What goes on within you?
Actually, when we talk about our heart, so the one thing which comes is the love. So
Right.
if you have love for something, you will go to any extent. So my love for wildlife, like if I say wildlife, so wildlife comes first and then comes the photography. So my love and my passion to do something for wildlife, to if I can do any change, if I can make any change in conserving those species, that is what thing which keeps me going on into wildlife. So when I am in the wildlife, so the thing is that every time whenever you go into forest or you go into jungle, how many times you go there, you will find something new which keeps motivating us as a wildlife photographer. There is nothing which is like you say, okay, we have seen it earlier and we are seeing the same thing. So for me, for any other wildlife photographer, this is the first and foremost thing which keeps us connected with the wildlife, because we always see some change, we always see some new thing there, we always experience something new there. And when you are very close to them, when you are following them for years, you make a bond with them, and you want to just keep an eye on them, what they are doing, and you are totally into that passion, into their life. So whenever we are in the wildlife, whenever we are capturing the movement, so we are reliving the movement. Actually, it's all about living your movement. So it's for the wildlife photographers, it's the jungle where we live a movement, and we strongly make that connection, and we feel that connection from our heart. So it's the love as well as it's the passion which keeps us motivating. So and one thing I would like to say, like when it comes from for heart and mind, I mean, you have to be a risk taker. You should have so much of guts that you can take the risk. If you're taking a risk in your life, I think the half battle is gone there.
That's where the challenge happens, that
Yes,
your brain will never let you take that risk.
yeah, your brain will never let you take the risk, and if you're not taking the risk, actually it's a very famous quote, your comfort starts outside, no, your, what we say,
your success or life starts outside your comfort zone.
Outside your comfort zone. Yeah.
Yes.
So when you are leaving your comfort zone and you are accepting the challenge, so your life begins from there. So and the more you take the risk in your life, the more you will achieve it.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. And in fact, when Radha told me about that you are here, and I said I have to feature you in this chat show. And guys, whoever are the wildlife lovers or wildlife photographers or wanting to be, do connect with Geethika. I'll be sharing her number with your kind permission, Geethika, in the description on the channel. And if they want to connect with you, I hope it's fine for them to connect with you, right?
Yeah, sure.
In fact,
Anything they want to know me about Africa or traveling to Africa or doing safaris in Africa, feel free to connect with me.
yeah, as I was telling you, Masai Mara was place we wanted to go to, but unfortunately, at that time, my son was too small and he was not allowed. So,
Yeah.
so it's been many years now, and we'll
So,
definitely plan a trip.
yeah, and as a wildlife photographer or as a wildlife conservationist, I feel very blessed. Like, we are the intermediate person connecting nature with the rest of the world, who are busy in city life, who are busy in metro cities, and they have so fast life. So whatever we show them, they feel like, okay, this is the thing where we can go and we can spend some time close to nature. So I feel very good sharing my pictures with the rest of the people. And I just want, like, more and more people should come visit wildlife, see the wildlife, and connect as much as close to the nature. And anyhow we can help them and conserve the species which is getting endangered.
On behalf of all the viewers, thanks a lot. That was a wonderful insight, and the thought itself is absolutely amazing. Thanks a lot. I
Thank
would
you.
now request you to share one or two tips to our viewers in terms of what they should do. Any tips that you feel would be?
First of all, I want to say to thank you to all my viewers for listening me and taking inspiration from me. And my only thing is, just keep following your heart, take risk in life, and be a risk taker. And whatever challenges are coming, be positive in every situation. And what with my experiences, I have found that every country, every challenge has biggest opportunity hidden for you. You just have to explore it.
Wonderful. That was absolutely very insightful. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Geethika. So, guys, wasn't that an amazing life journey from Geethika? You realized that we all have some passion, something we want to do, but we are not able to get over that situation. Especially for ladies, with no offense meant to the gents, the ladies find a much bigger challenge to follow that passion, because once they get married, they move to the in-laws place. There's a complete culture difference. Adjust to those people, adjust to the husband. Then the children come along, adjust to the, you have to spend time with the children, bring them up, studies, food, schooling, and then education, then finding a partner for them. It is never ending. And in such situations, most ladies tend to give up. Most of them, they said, the passion that is coming from their heart takes a back seat, and they give up on it. Geethika, we should take inspiration from you, that you never let that happen to you. And you are a living example that you took that challenge, adapted to those situations, and did not let go of that passion. Absolutely, hats off to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was my pleasure connecting with you.
Guys, if you guys liked the content, do consider liking and subscribing to this channel. And if you have any specific questions or any more information you need, either from me or some advice from either one of us, feel free to post your comment And if there are some key takeaways that you got from this, which you will be able to adapt in your life, please post in your comments and we'll get back to you within 48 hours. In closing, I want to leave you with this beautiful quote by Bon Jovi. I'm going to read it out to you. It says, "Nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you want to do with your life, be passionate." It's very apt for this particular episode. Let me repeat: nothing is as important as passion. No matter what you do with your life, be passionate. With that, Geethika, thanks a lot once again. It was an amazing session that we had, and I'm sure our viewers would have also got something to learn and apply in their lives. Thanks a lot, viewers. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next. Bye bye.